My literal nightmare happened, and it didn't go as well as I thought it was gonna. I don't know why when I started making this recipe, I was like, it's gonna go great. The first test sometimes ends up working out, but yeah, I made it twice, and I cooked the caramel too long both tries. So it's a learning process. Yeah, maybe next time. That actually wasn't bad. Hey everyone, I'm Nea Arentzen, and today I'm gonna be doing one of the scariest things that you can be doing on camera in a test kitchen. It is making a brand new recipe that I've never tested before here for you guys. We're gonna be making homemade Twix. Hopefully they're gonna turn out great. I did some research and development earlier this week to kind of write out a recipe and write out everything that we're gonna need. So I feel like they're gonna turn out great, but we'll just cross our fingers for now. So what I'm gonna start off by doing is making the shortbread crust, and for that, I have a little bit of all-purpose flour, I have a decent amount of unsalted butter, granulated sugar, and then also some salt and vanilla extract. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cream together the butter and the sugar. This is softened butter, and then I'm gonna add the sugar. Usually when you're making a shortbread crust or shortbread cookies, you would pulse everything together in a food processor, and that kind of creates a really flaky shortbread cookie, I guess. I want this to hold its shape a little bit better and be a little chewier, so that's why I'm gonna kind of mix everything with this electric mixer. I'm excited though because I personally really love Twix. It's one of my favorite Halloween candies, so I feel like this is gonna be a success. I chose Twix because I felt like it was like a middle ground between something that's too easy and something that's too complicated. So first I was thinking maybe Reese's, but I feel like everybody knows how to make Reese's and they're not that hard. I feel like the video would be way too short. And then I was thinking maybe Snickers, but then I was like, do I really want to have to make this like marshmallow fluff on camera? I'm like, that feels a little too labor intensive, and I feel like there's too much risk involved with not having tested a recipe with that, so that's kind of why I chose Twix. I feel like Twix is also one of those candies that everybody likes. Now, actually, I'm gonna add the flour and then also a little bit of salt. Usually, as I was saying before, I would want the butter to stay cold and I would want this to be more of a crumbly dough, but since I want this to be a little denser and also a little chewier, I'm gonna mix this in with this electric mixer. Not like I'm gonna mix it too much, but I'm just gonna mix until all the flour is incorporated into the butter and sugar. Reese's and Sour Patch was always like the best candy to get. And I think the candy that I would always avoid picking was like Butterfingers. I don't really like, they're too sweet. And Snickers, I always kind of thought were like meh. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of American candy is super, super sweet. I don't know what you guys think, but yeah, I feel like Reese's is always like the best one. Anything sour too. I think this looks good. I feel like sometimes when you're making a shortbread cookie or cookies that are, even if it's like a sugar cookie or something, then it's easy to make it too wet, I guess. But this is actually perfect for what we want. If you're making a really crumbly shortbread cookie, you would want a little bit less butter, I would say. So the ratios here that I'm using are a little bit different than your traditional like Scottish shortbread. So this is perfect. Here I have a 8x8-inch square baking pan. I lined it with parchment paper, and this is just gonna make it a lot easier once it's baked and once we've added the caramel to take it out of the pan and actually cut them into pieces. I always regret when I don't add parchment paper to cakes that I'm baking. I feel like when I was little, I was a witch a lot. I feel like that's a very classic like girl thing to be, like a little scary, and you like, I don't know, it's just like an easy repetitive costume. And then ideally I would have tasted this before I actually added it to the pan. There's not a lot we can do at this point, but it's good. Probably would have added a little bit more salt, honestly. But I think the sweetness is good and it's definitely very buttery, so I think it's fine. So the crew got me some Twix. I'm gonna open one up just because I want to make sure that we get the shortbread crust about the same thickness. Okay, so I would say it's probably like 1/4 inch thick maybe. So I think that what I have in the pan right now is actually pretty good. As you can see, I don't know if you can tell, But here, if you look at the corner, you can see that it's not crazy thick. So I think I'm gonna leave it at that. So I could probably get away with maybe not having this recipe, but at least maybe doing like 2/3 of it instead. So I'm just gonna press it down now into an even layer. And if you are really concerned about it being perfectly even all around or all across, you can always take a little measuring cup or just a regular cup and kind of just like flatten the surface that way. I'm gonna bake this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 minutes, I think. I might have to add a little more time after, depending, or I don't know. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, especially because I didn't end up using all the dough. And then in the meantime, I'm gonna make the caramel. So while that is baking, I'm gonna make the caramel. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't made caramel in a while, but I always make it around like the holidays and Thanksgiving and Christmas, so I made it before. So for the caramel, I have sugar, granulated white sugar. I have corn syrup, which is an invert sugar, and that's gonna help to create really soft caramels. I have unsalted butter again, some heavy cream, and a little bit of vanilla and salt too, and of course the Twix as reference, very important. Usually when I make caramels, or I would recommend using a heavy bottomed pot. We just have a regular saucepan today, it's totally fine. It's not gonna cook for a crazy amount of time, so it should be okay without burning. So I have 2 cups sugar, just regular granulated sugar, 1 cup of corn syrup. You don't have to use corn syrup when you're making caramels, but it is going to make them a lot more smoother and just taste better. You could also use light corn syrup. I wouldn't recommend using dark corn syrup because it almost sometimes has kind of a molassesy flavor, and I want this caramel to just taste like normal caramel. Half a cup of butter. So I'm really just adding everything in here before turning on the heat. I'm gonna add a pinch of salt. We'll probably have to add a little bit more at the end when everything is kind of done cooking, because I wanna make sure that this is nice and salty, but I don't wanna add too much at the start. And a cup of heavy cream. Some recipes call for sweetened condensed milk, but I like to just use regular whipping cream when making caramels. I just turned the heat to high. I am gonna stir this while everything melts, and then I'm gonna let it come to a boil, and then I'm gonna reduce the heat, and I'm gonna let it simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes until it's super nice and thick and dark golden brown. And I'm not gonna stir too much throughout the process because I don't want any sugar crystals to form. Yeah, actually, well, in terms of Christmas, like here, it's Christmas cookies. In Sweden, it's Christmas candies. So there's tons of like caramel-based Christmas candies that we make a lot. Halloween isn't huge in Sweden. I would say it's becoming more of a thing. Like all my cousins in Sweden now are dressing up and going trick-or-treating. When I lived in Sweden, it definitely wasn't a thing. But yeah, a lot of caramel-based candies. So like saffron caramel or chocolate caramel, caramel with nuts. I don't know, the list goes on. All right, this is almost melted. I'm gonna go check on the cake because this is done, I think. So this has been simmering for about 30 minutes, I'll say, and it's starting to look really brown, which is exactly what I want. I'm gonna go in with just a wet pastry brush and kind of just go along the sides, and this helps to just dissolve any of that sugar on the sides of the saucepan. It's a very common thing to do to kind of help prevent, again, those like sugar crystals from forming on the side. And it just is better than actually going in to scrape with a spatula or a spoon. And it's great because this water, it's not gonna do anything to the caramel, it just kind of instantly evaporates too. I'm gonna check the temperature. So there's another test that I actually rely on more than a thermometer because it can kind of depend too on like the type of saucepan, if you're using heavy cream or sweetened condensed milk. I feel like I'm talking really fast now because I don't want this to cook too much. So one test that I use a lot is you take a glass of cold water, take a little spoon of the caramel, add it to the cold water, and you wait for it to cool for just a few seconds or a minute. You can see it has already started to kind of harden in the water because it's holding its shape. I'm gonna pour the water out and then taste the caramel. You can see, look at that. It's like a nice caramel pull while also kind of maintaining its shape. It's perfect. I feel like I might have overcooked it a little bit, but it's fine. Okay, the shortbread is also done. I'm not letting it cool completely because it's gonna go in the freezer anyway when I add the caramel. So now I'm gonna pour the caramel on. Again, I'm not sure if we're gonna need all of it. Definitely not gonna need all of it. Actually, I need my reference again. Okay, it's actually not that thick. It's like the same as the shortbread. These might be a little thicker than the normal Twix, but that's totally fine. I'm gonna tap this to just get rid of any air bubbles. It's already setting because the air bubbles are not coming out, but that's okay. One thing is when you're using parchment paper in this way, you wanna make sure to just kind of pinch the corners because otherwise the corners can kind of fall in and then you're gonna end up with uneven edges. Twix don't have flaky sea salt in the middle, but we're gonna kind of improvise. Because I love, especially with caramel and chocolate, I love that extra hint of saltiness. I don't have a lot of time right now, so I'm gonna pop this in the freezer and let it sit for maybe 30 minutes. I know some people feel weird about putting hot things in freezers and refrigerators. I don't really care that much, so I'm gonna do it anyway, and I'll see you in like 30 minutes. So it's almost done cooling in the freezer. I just checked it. It's very solid. It's almost cool. In the meantime, I'm gonna melt some chocolate. Twix, I always lean towards using dark chocolate whenever I'm dipping something in melted chocolate, but Twix obviously has milk chocolate. And I actually have been liking milk chocolate a lot more recently, so we're doing milk chocolate. This is kind of a mix. I have some chips, I have some Hershey's. Kind of just use like the miscellaneous milk chocolate that we had in the kitchen. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of coconut oil as well. And this, as everybody knows, it makes the chocolate a little bit more dippable and gives you, and helps us get a little bit of a thinner layer than if we were to just melt chocolate. This also makes it so that we don't have to temper the chocolate. If you wanna be really technical, you could definitely temper the chocolate, but we've done enough technical things today here. I've already struggled with the caramel, so I'm gonna leave the tempering to another day. So I'm just gonna melt this in the microwave for maybe up to a minute and 30-second spurts. You could obviously also do it in a double boiler, but if I have a microwave, I'm probably always gonna use the microwave over a double boiler. I transferred the chocolate to a smaller bowl just to make it a little bit easier to dip it. It's always helpful to have kind of a shallower vessel when you're dipping something. And here I have the Twix bars. This is actually, so I made this twice. The first time I kind of messed up on the caramel and I cooked it a little bit too long, so it got really hard. This time I really made sure to watch it. So it's a little bit lighter in the color than the other caramel, but it's definitely gonna taste better. So I'm just gonna place it onto this cutting board and then I'm gonna cut it into little bars. So if you feel like the caramel is hardening up too quickly, just put it in the oven for just a few minutes. I also let the chocolate cool down just a little bit. It's gonna help get the chocolate to actually stick to them. Otherwise, it might just melt off. And I also, it's not gonna melt. It wouldn't be hot enough to melt the chocolate anyway, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, look at that. Not ideal, but there's still some on there. I'm gonna take 2 forks and I'm just gonna cover it in chocolate, roll it around, and then just shake off the excess. So I would say if you make these at home, I would recommend just really try not to overcook the caramel because that ultimately I think is what is causing the caramel to kind of separate from the shortbread is because we're cutting them and it just all wants to separate. So to my defense, this is the first test. Another one. Okay, the Twix bars are in here, they're done. I let them cool for a while in the freezer. Also, a moment for this pumpkin pan, it's so cool. Okay, this is what they look like. Not terrible. Do you want to, let's compare. Original-ish. They definitely, the chocolate is tempered here and that's why it has kind of that shiny, glossy look. I did not temper the chocolate, so that's, again, why it's kind of a little bit more dull looking. But it saves a lot of time and it's easier, so this is fine. Or actually, I'm gonna break one open. This one's a little funky looking on the bottom. But you know why it snapped that easily? It's because it's too hard. But the layers are at least pretty nice. Here's the original, here is mine. Pretty good ratio. That actually wasn't bad. The caramel kind of just broke off pretty easily. Definitely more of like a hard candy. Like this is definitely more chewy and like classic caramel, but this still isn't that bad. If you guys also want to make homemade Twix for Halloween, it's a little bit of a project, but could be worth it. And then if you cook the caramel right and you follow the recipe, which will be updated for you guys, you'll find the recipe linked below in the caption. Thank you for watching this special Halloween episode, and I will see you in the next video. Happy Halloween.